The first time I wanted to cross the line, we were in an elevator going down from my office on the 42nd floor. Just me and Marcus, my bodyguard. The doors closed and I watched her reflection in the polished steel. Sharp jawline, gray eyes. That controlled expression she wore like armor. She was looking at her phone, pretending I didn't exist. Professional distance. That invisible wall she maintained between us. I was tired of invisible walls. Marcus, I said quietly. She looked up, alert immediately. Always alert. Always watching. Yes, Ms. Harper? Do you ever think about crossing professional lines? She stiffened. No, ma'am. That would be inappropriate. But you thought about it. Just now. I saw you. You saw nothing, Miss Harper. But her jaw was tight. And I knew. Knew that the attraction I felt was not one-sided. Knew that she was choosing professionalism over desire every single day. And I couldn't do it anymore. Tell me where you're watching from. Drop your city in the comments below. And if stories like mine resonate with you, please hit that subscribe button. Your support helps this channel reach people learning that sometimes you can't resist your desires, and choosing love over duty is the bravest thing you can do. My name is Sophie Harper, and this is the story of how I couldn't resist my desires for my bodyguard Marcus. How I forced her to choose between her career and her heart. And how she chose me. I was born wealthy. Old money. The kind that comes with expectations and obligations and a life that's already been planned out before you're old enough to make your own decisions. My father is a venture capitalist. My mother is on the board of 3 major charities. I was supposed to marry someone appropriate, have children, maintain the family legacy. Instead, at 25, I came out as a lesbian and watched my parents' faces fall like I'd announced a terminal diagnosis. They didn't disown me, but they made it clear that I was a disappointment. A complication. A problem that needed to be managed. So I managed myself, threw myself into work. Started my own tech company focused on apps for LGBTQ+ mental health. Built something meaningful. Made my own money. Proved I didn't need my parents' approval or their legacy. By 30, I had a successful company and a life I'd built entirely on my own terms. What I didn't have was love. Or safety. The success brought threats. People who thought I shouldn't exist. People who thought my company was promoting an agenda. Death threats came first, then specific ones. Someone knew where I lived. Knew my schedule. Knew things about me that made my skin crawl. My lawyer insisted on security. I resisted until the night someone left a note on my car. After that, I hired Elite Protection Services. They sent Marcus. Marcus was 38. Ex-military, trained in personal protection and tactical response. She had short dark hair, sharp cheekbones, gray eyes that seemed to see everything. She walked into my office like she owned it and said, "Ms. Harper, I've reviewed the threat assessment. You're being targeted by at least 5 separate individuals with violent inclinations. My job is to keep you alive. That means I'm with you constantly. I will be in your office, your car, your apartment. I will know your schedule, your habits, your vulnerabilities. This is not negotiable. Can you handle that?" I should have said no. Should have hired someone else. Should have done anything except agree to have this woman become the constant presence in my life. Instead, I said yes. The first month was torture. Not because Marcus was bad at her job. She was incredible. Professional, competent, invisible when she needed to be. But I noticed things. The way she'd position herself between me and potential threats. The way she'd bring me coffee without being asked, exactly how I liked it. The way she'd memorize my schedule better than I had. The way she'd touch my shoulder to guide me through crowds, and I'd feel it for hours after. By month 2, I realized I was arranging my schedule around seeing her. Going to places just to have her close. Making excuses to stay near her. By month 3, I was hopelessly in love. I didn't say anything. What could I say? She was professional. Maintained perfect distance. Never gave me any indication that she felt anything except duty. I assumed I was imagining the connection. Projecting. Wanting so badly to see reciprocation that I was creating it in my mind. Then came the night everything changed. We were at a charity gala. boring networking event that I had to attend for business reasons. Marcus was there, of course, in a tailored suit that made her look dangerous and elegant simultaneously. She positioned herself near the wall, scanning the room constantly. I tried to focus on business conversations, but couldn't stop looking at her, watching her, wanting her. About halfway through the night, I saw a man approaching me. Older, wealthy-looking, the type who felt entitled to women's attention. He started talking to me, getting closer, his hand finding my arm. I felt uncomfortable immediately. But before I could move, Marcus was there. Her hand on the man's arm, professional smile on her face. "Sir, the lady is with me tonight. Perhaps you'd like to rejoin your party." He left immediately. Marcus's hand on my arm was possessive, protective, not professional. When he was gone, she didn't move away. "You okay?" she asked quietly. "Yeah, thank you. Always," she said. And for just a second I saw it. Saw past the professional armor. Saw that she felt something. Something protective. Something more. After that night, things changed slightly. Nothing obvious, but I noticed. The way she'd stand closer to me. The way her eyes would linger on me longer than necessary. The way her voice would soften when she talked to me privately. But the professional distance remained. Perfect. Impenetrable. I tried to ignore it. Tried to move on. Dated women. Tried to feel something for them. Nothing worked. They weren't Marcus. 6 months in, I decided I couldn't do this anymore. Couldn't live with her and be in love with her and have her maintain this perfect professional distance. Either I needed to cross the line or I needed to fire her, and I couldn't fire her. Not because I was afraid of losing protection, but because I couldn't imagine my life without her. So I started pushing boundaries. Small things at first. Asking her personal questions that went beyond professional. Inviting her to meals and calling them debriefing sessions. Standing too close. Finding excuses to touch her. She resisted every boundary crossing. Maintained professionalism, but I saw it costing her. Saw the strain in her jaw. The way her hands would clench. The night she'd stay in the car instead of coming into my apartment, even though it was cold. One night, I was in my office late. Marcus was outside in the hallway like always. I called her in. "Marcus, come here." She came immediately, alert. "What's wrong? Are you in danger?" "Yes," I said. "I'm in danger of losing my mind. I'm in danger of spending my entire life loving someone who won't let me. I'm in danger of never telling you that I would risk everything for you. So, yes, Marcus, I'm in danger. And I need your help." She stared at me. "Ms. Harper, don't use my last name like I'm a client. I'm Sophie. My name is Sophie. And I need to know if what I see in your eyes sometimes is real or if I've imagined it. You're my client. I'm asking you to stop being professional for 1 second and be honest with me. Do you feel anything?" "Sophie, this is inappropriate." "I don't care. Do you feel anything?" She was quiet for a long moment. Then, "Yes, God, yes. I feel everything. Every single day. But I can't act on it because my job is to protect you and I can't do that if I'm compromised by feelings. What if I don't want you to be my bodyguard anymore? Then I'm useless to you." "That's not true. You could just be mine." She stood up. "I need to resign. I can't stay here knowing." "No, don't you dare run." I stood up too, stepped closer. "Don't you dare run from this. I didn't spend 6 months falling in love with you just to have you disappear. Sophie, I can't. You can. You're choosing not to. You're choosing duty over what you actually want. And I'm done accepting that." I stepped even closer. Close enough to touch. Close enough that I could see the battle happening in her eyes. I couldn't resist my desires anymore. I tried. For 6 months I tried to be professional and appropriate and respectful of boundaries, but I can't. I love you. And I think you love me. So either you can admit it and we figure out how to make this work, or you can leave and pretend this conversation never happened. If I stay, I have to quit. I know. I'll have no job, no income, nothing. You'll have me. And I have more than enough for both of us." She was quiet. Then so quietly, I almost didn't hear. "I love you. I've loved you for months. And I'm terrified. Of what? Of losing you. Of hurting you. Of being a disappointment. The only way you could disappoint me is by leaving. She stepped closer, closed the distance between us, and kissed me. Finally, after months of restraint and professional distance, she kissed me like she was drowning and I was air. When we broke apart, we were both shaking. I'm going to resign tomorrow, she said. I'm going to hire a new security team. And then I'm going to ask you out like a normal person who isn't your employee. Okay, I whispered. But kiss me again first. She did. Kiss me again and again, like she was making up for all the months she'd held back. Making up for all the moments she'd chosen professionalism over desire. Making up for everything. Marcus resigned the next day. The statement was simple. Personal reasons. My father called immediately, concerned that my protection was being reduced. I told him I'd hired a new firm. What I didn't tell him was that the protection I actually needed was now dating me. We took a week before going public. Just a week of being together without the professional dynamic. She took me on actual dates. We went to dinner, movies, bookstores. Normal couple things that felt revolutionary after months of stolen glances and professional distance. By the time we told people, everyone knew. Our friends weren't surprised. My parents called and asked if I was making another poor decision. I told them this was the best decision I'd ever made. Marcus got a job working security consulting, which gave her flexibility and better pay. We moved in together 3 months later. Got engaged a year after that. The threats against me continued, but Marcus no longer had to maintain professional distance while protecting me. She could protect me as my partner. Could love me and keep me safe simultaneously. People ask if it's weird that we met as bodyguard and client. If there's an inherent power imbalance that we had to navigate, my answer is always, yes, there was. And we did. We went to therapy. We talked about it. We were intentional about making sure the dynamic shifted from protector-protected to equals. It took work, but it was worth it. Because at the end of all of it, I found the woman I love. She found the freedom to actually feel. And we both learned that sometimes you can't resist your desires, and sometimes that's not weakness. Sometimes that's exactly what you need. If you've ever felt attraction to someone you weren't supposed to feel it for, if you fought against desire and lost, if you know what it's like to finally stop resisting and admit what you actually want, I want to hear your story. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from. And please subscribe to help these stories reach people learning that love sometimes requires you to break the rules. Thank you for being here, for listening, for understanding that I couldn't resist my desires because they led me to the person I was meant to find.